Don't forget to check out the Twitch live stream every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific. Twitch.tv/X_UtterChaos_X. Now on to your featured video.
Welcome to the Week in Review. I am your host, Ace McTavish, and we're going to get things started off this week. It's match day 4 of the Champions League group stage. It's a trip to France to take on Stade Rennais. 3-0 the score line from our previous meeting. This match could determine second place in the group. The goals would dry up this time around, but not for a lack of trying. Nelson with 4 key passes on the day and nearly curled this shot into the upper right. But the goalkeeping was too good and the teams split the points after a 0-0 draw. We would return home to face West Ham United in the league, match day 11. The Hammers sit 9th, 2 points back of Man City. Looking to keep the league results coming, 3-1-0 since our return from injury. Fernando would have a good chance early, but can't put it on frame. Early in the second half, the scoring would open as Fabian Delph finds himself in the right spot. Adrian doesn't move an inch. It's 1-0. Delph picking up his second of the season. West Ham nearly pull level. Moments later, the cross not properly cleared, and Lanzini's shot hits the post and goes out for a goal kick. The lone goal would hold, earning 3 points for the home side. And we'll now go making our first international friendly appearance for Scotland. We haven't been selected for this match here versus Sweden, so we'll just go ahead and sim through. And Sweden opened up the scoring 26 minutes in. McGregor, though, pulls Scotland even in the 56th minute, only to have a swift reply from Berg. And Guidetti finishes off with a goal in the 80th minute. It's 3-1 to the Swedes. Centrelink Field is where Nelson makes his first friendly appearance. It's a near full strength squad for the Americans. The home side finding the back of the net first. 15 minutes in, Fabian Johnson plays Zardes open up the left flank. He's just going to make a nice turn inside right around the defender, and he's going to slip it in the near post underneath Marshall. But Scotland refused to roll over. This time around, early second half, Robertson gives it back to Nelson, and he works some magic. The initial shot saved, but he's the only one left standing, and he just taps in the rebound, making it 1-1. Neither side created anything substantial going forward, and it ends in a draw. Returning back to league action, City travel to the northeast to face Newcastle United at St. James Park. Match day 12 as we approach the busy month of December and the January transfer window. And we had 90 minutes of game time producing nothing resembling a highlight. And it ends scoreless. Moving on to the career manager action from the week. We find out manager Chaos tweaking the formation slightly to bolster the attack. First up is a trip to Leicester to face the Foxes. Was a 1-0 loss back at the beginning of the season. We are 1-1-2 all-time versus Claudio Ranieri's side, who are looking to stay out of the regulation zone. The formation change seems to have woken the attack, peppering Schmeichel with shots all game long, and Bolton finally break through in first half stoppage time. Cameron Carter with a cross on the floor, and Zignini is there to direct it home. 1-0 at the half. Leicester pull even at the start of the second half. Sanchez gets caught with a foot out. Riyad Mahrez puts away the penalty. And that scoreline would hold until the 83rd minute when Zignini would add his second of the game. Van Bergen cuts in from the left wing, tries to put a cross, but a misplay between Schmeichel and Schoupp lets Zignini bag his third of the season. Scoring wasn't done though, as Pinamonte plays Vivian on through. A nice cut back inside, and he opens up his account for the season. 3-1 is the final, and that's the best game since switching the difficulty to world class. Champions League round of 16 second leg action with host Trabzonspor. 2-2 with those two huge away goals from the first leg. Looks like Man U, Napoli, Arsenal, Barca have already punched their tickets to the quarterfinals, and who will join them? A fantastic start for the home side. Hall keeping play alive, squares to Grogard, and quickly playing on to Pinamonte, who lets one fly into the upper right-hand corner. 1-0, 5 minutes in. Bolton up 3-2 on aggregate. The defense would hold up for the next 80 minutes until a breakdown on the right flank. The cross looks as if it'll be headed clear, but Yahisi steps in front of Mason Holgate to head home the equalizer. It ends 3-3 on aggregate, Bolton advancing on those away goals. The big matchup of the week is a visit to the Emirates Stadium to face Arsenal. We squeaked out a 1-0 victory last meeting and an impressive 4-0 all-time against the Gunners. Despite the win versus Leicester, we still sit 14th in the table. After an uneventful 45 minutes, Arsenal opened the scoring early in the second frame. Aaron Ramsey subbed on at halftime in a solo effort starting from 40 yards out, and a laser strike from 20. And it looked as if Arsenal would pick up their first win versus Bolton Wanderers, but the Gunners' D would fall asleep as Will Davis slips a pass through and Mitchell Van Bergen is cold as ice, multiple defenders closing in, his first of the season. Having earned a point, Bolton looked to smash and grab all three. Vivian picks up a loose ball and then is taken down inside the box. Will Davis gives Oblak no chance, crushing it where the Spiders lay their eggs. His 8th of the season, 2-1 the final, an amazing comeback for all 3 points. A Greater Manchester derby as Bolton hosts Burnley. 3 previous meetings have yet to see any goals scored from either side. Bolton up to 10th after those 2 consecutive wins. It would take 315 minutes for the first goal between these two sides. Andre Gray slips a seemingly harmless pass to Patrick Bamford, and he somehow spins this one past Beavers and Jablonski to give the Clarets a 1-0 lead at halftime. Bolton would stave off a few Burnley advances and then equalize on this spectacular overhead kick from Patrick Hall, his first of the season. 1-1, 72nd minute. And that is how it would end. Matchday 30 takes Bolton to Villa Park for the first time. It's only the second meeting versus Aston Villa, and a 1-0 victory early this season. The draw against Burnley moving Wanderers out of that 10th position. And for the second straight game, Jablonski gets the start, and Bolton are victimized just before half. Manaziak does well to block the initial chance, but the ball bounces around inside the box, and Jordan Vertu nutmegs the keeper for a 1-0 lead. This time around, Bolton couldn't find the answer, and it would be the Villains adding to their lead 10 minutes into the second half. Jordan Ayew dribbling around several defenders and passes to Dimitri Domenitakos, the Grecan, lifting it over Jablonski. 2-0 is the final, the first setback of this new formation, and points were dropped that definitely were needed. We stay on the road to finish out this week's episode. Vicarage Road is the home of Watford. 1-1-1, the record all-time versus the Hornets. Both sides fighting to stay above that relegation zone. Bolton would strike early. Van Bergen delivers the corner, finding the head of Mark Beavers, and no one can touch it. 6 minutes in, it's 1-0. Beavers with his first of the season. Watford would earn a penalty kick in the 29th minute. Grogard with a careless tackle that would earn him a yellow card. Talisca gets the opportunity to level things, but Price guesses correctly, parrying it off the post, and then making another big save from the ensuing play. Bolton would pick up an insurance goal with a spot kick of their own at the end of regulation. Bennett brings it into the box and is taken down just as he passes it away. And Zlatan gets a bit lucky as Kemblatsky pushes it into the side netting. Fourth of the season for Ibra. That caps off a 2-0 victory. But that is going to wrap up the week in review. I've been your host, Ace McTavish. See you next week.